Hi, I'm Coach Mia, and welcome to Glow 365. In this segment, our conversation will be on taboo about what is grief and how to get relief from grief by flipping the script. Hold on, family. There is more to grief than you may think. As quiet as it's kept, grief is not just about death or dying. You'd be surprised what else you and others are grieving. For instance, have you ever associated grief with losing your keys, your wallet, important documents or papers, losing your status or reputation, and even losing a valued material possession? Strange as it may seem, grief can even be triggered by forgetting where your car is in a busy parking lot. How others react in general to grief people experience after any loss is mirrored by a typical response to one's losing family members, a friend, and even a loss of a pet. We may hear well meaning words like, I'm sorry for your loss. They're in a better place. Lord giveth and Lord taketh away. You have to be strong for others. I understand how you feel, and so on. But do those words really console you and help you get through it? Stay tuned, and before it's over, Dr. Tate will share some unique and creative ideas that will provide healing balm and alternative ways to handle grief in your hours of mourning. But before we get started with what is grief, let me introduce my outstanding co-host. She's the host and producer of the Sophie G radio show, a self-empowerment speaker. Good evening, Sophie.
Good evening, my sister. Good evening. Thank you so much for that intro. I just love
Oh,
it.
yes.
Yeah, what a show. What a title. I look
Mm,
forward to jumping in here and sharing the space with you, Mia, every third Tuesday.
yes.
Because of what we bring to the table, and it's just you always have so much insightful guests and all of that. And I just want to say, yeah, I'm glad to be here. We're going to be talking about grief. And what a flip it is from the last show we had, which was the five love languages. So we go
Yes.
from
Oh,
loving
yes.
and learning how to love, and courtesy of Dr. K that was here with us last month, and where we learned how to what it meant to really learn how to appreciate each other from different perspective by tapping into how we relate to one another, how we share love, and the misunderstandings that come with not knowing how to understand that sometimes what we're trying to convey is really coming from a loving place. And for those who are logged on right now and tuning in, I want to say I hope that we all learned something from that, and you were able to apply a little bit of the steps and the tools that were given to us to enhance a better glowing life. Now, with that being said, as my sister Mia just shared with us, we're going to be talking about grief today. And who's there better than to share the wisdom and information and insightfulness with us than our guest here that's going to be joining us today, Dr. Tate.
And before we introduce Dr. Tate, let me share a little bit about who he is.
Hello, I'm Dr. Donald Tate, founder and CEO of Dr. Donald Tate and Associates, and I'm a grief recovery specialist. I obtained my doctorate degree in what is called metaphysical science from the University of Sedona. It's under the umbrella of theology, psychology, sociology, and all those other ologies. And I'm honored to be on Glow 365 virtual show. Let me share a little something about what is grief and how to flip the script. So come on, let's go.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
Dr. Tate. Welcome to Glow. Before we get started, I just want to say apologies. We got started late, and sometimes the internet has a mind of its own, and doesn't want to cooperate. But better yet, we're here. Just a late start, but that's okay. Dr. Tate, welcome to Glow.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much. I always say it's better late than never. So I'm glad to be on here. I'm very honored that you invited me here. Hello, Sophie.
Hi, Doc. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now,
so Dr.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, go ahead. Leah. Oh, no, you go ahead, sister. You go ahead.
I'll follow both
Dr.
of y'all.
Tate,
Don't matter.
Dr. Tate, I want to say a special thank you for allowing me to take the grief recovery class. It helped me to learn more about myself, and even after the loss of my twins years ago, my second son, who's one of a twin, and just learning, relationships and stuff you've been through, and that's also a loss too. But I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mia, for trusting me. And I truly appreciate it. I felt your love and I felt your hard work doing those trying weeks we had. Um, it was good. It was good.
Well, Doc.
Now,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I,
Put
I
yourself
love
in.
this. I love this.
it's like we got so much to say, we can't stop.
No problem.
But
No problem.
question, I
Yes.
forgot to ask you during the class, was what you meant about what you call the bee devil and enshrinement. That is wherein people have this fetish of holding on to possessions or after the death of a loved one. Um, the Mexicans, they have a culture where they celebrate the day of the death, um, in which they have an altar that's set up in memories of some of their possessions and stuff. Is that a good or bad for to help moving on?
That's a very good question. You touched on enshrinement, and we have seen people when they're driving their car and they see a picture in the back that's tinted windows and have when they were born and when they pass away. A lot of people have in the rooms that the person passed away a picture, statue, candles. These are all positive that people will have. Bedevilment is the total opposite. It's the negative things that people hold on to, speaking not so good about the people who passed away. It's that thing that playing devil advocate don't want to speak positive to that. So you have the enshrinement and the bedevilment.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Now I got a better understanding. Now, today we're talking about what is grief.
What is grief? To make it simple, grief is the natural and normal emotions that we get when someone loses a loved one. That's a simple definition. When we're grieving, being in a process, two things that happen simultaneously. One, the natural normal response, and then the analytical aspect of why did she pass? What was the reason? God, tell me what was this? And it bumps head. This is the whole grieving process, the total grieving process. In order to recover or at least bring down this particular monkey on your back, you got to go through it emotionally. You can't analyze getting out of this grief process or grieving process, shall I say. I hope
Now,
that,
Dr. Tate,
yes.
yes, that does clarify a little bit. But apparently, grief is much deeper than people realize. Um, please explain a little bit more why people tend to suppress or repress it.
That mind is a very, very tricky thing. And it's so tricky that we summons this particular thing. All right. When I lost my mom, it came to me in a way that I thought about the process, because she asked me to give her water at 9:05 p.m. And when she passed away the next day, all I thought about, Mia and Sophie, was 9:05 p.m. asking for the water. The next year, 9:05 p.m. asking for the water. Had nothing to do with anything else. It was, what should I have said different? Maybe I could have said, I love you, or, I'm sorry, or thank you for loving me for being such a brat that I was. 9:05 p.m. She's requesting for water. And that's that thing that repressed a lot of people, a whole lot of folks.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you said that, doctor, because, I lost my father 14 years ago. And, I've been told, well, personally, I don't think I've grieved him either.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told over and over the years, you got to grieve. When it hits, it's just going to come like a ton of bricks. You just said something a while ago about your mom in 9:05. And the only thing I can recall on the day that every year it comes around when my father passed away, on the anniversary, is he died at 11:04. And that's what pops up in my mind, just 11:04. I tend to get into a mood. So what are some of the triggers that you could actually say that we need to look out for that triggers grief?
Well, like I said, Sophie, it's emotional. It's very interesting that you placed in the beginning part the keys. We don't connect keys or loss of luggage or wallet or even a car with grief. But I want you to think about something for a second. The moment you lose your keys, depending on how fast you got to get to that particular place, it starts to become emotional. Immediately. Very quickly. The car. I know I parked my car here. Now we're analyzing it. I know we parked my car here. We're grieving. We're grieving. And as time passes on, that 5 seconds start to become a minute. That's a long time. And your whole emotions inside just say, okay, let me regroup. But we don't connect that with grieving. Nobody ever told us that. But that's what it is. That's what it is.
That's true.
Oh, and also, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Separation, a divorce, a spat with your children, a friend, anything of that nature, there's this loss. There's this loss. We're grieving, okay? We're grieving. And we're trying to analyze it of what's the reasoning for this particular thing. Go ahead, Mia. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
As you're saying that, and I know there's some stages to the grief with the anger, because I was sharing that before the show that I went to Universal, and you're so busy with your girls and everything, you park the car and stuff, and then come out getting ready to go home, and where is my car? Where did I park?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm getting angry. It's like now it's just like an hour of using the car remote to click to hear the alarm going off, and so I get it when you grieve. And I lost my car, or you just lose something, anything particular that holds dear to you. You really, you get angry. Typed up something on the computer and by mistake you delete it. Like, I can't get it back. You delete a photo on your phone and you can't retrieve it back. So I can relate to that grieving. But we think it's anger, or we don't associate that with grieving at all.
No, we don't. And as time lapses, the intensity of the emotion rises. Let me say that one more time. When you can't find your keys in about 1 to 5 seconds, your anger and your emotions start rising. Yes, you're grieving. You're grieving. You have probably witnessed people or heard people crying when they lost the keys or lost their wallet or lost something. All right? That's grief. That's grief.
That's true. Or their engagement ring, or
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
know,
yeah,
a picture. They lose their home because a fire took it, and it had all the
Mm.
yeah,
memories of their loved ones that are no longer here. You know,
yeah.
doctor, some people turn to other things for comfort. Some people turn to substance abuse. Some people cut themselves. You know, some people turn to, you know, other stuff that are addictive and that's toxic for their bodies. How do you help people escape these kind of go-tos or um, stages where they just feel like it's like even losing a key after leaving the parking lot or after hanging with your girls. You
Mm.
probably just need to feel like you need a strong drink after you find it or something. You know, what do you say to people who end up turning to addiction to just to soothe the pain? People who are going through divorces, you know, what would you say? How do you approach that when somebody comes your way, or if you notice it in somebody without
Yeah.
even them being aware of it? How do you deal with that?
One of the sessions that we had, we talked about an acronym STERB. STERB, which stands STERBs. It stands for short-term energy release behavior. Okay. People have this belief that going out, getting slush face, that they're going to close that gap when they're taking the drink, when they shooting up, when they doing what a lot of women call retail therapy, when they go to shopping. Okay.
Mhm.
So you know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
You-
actually,
you-
I do. True.
so what's happening is it's a short-term energy release behavior that you think you're going to get this relief in this particular short time. But when the hangover comes the next day, you're going to realize, oh,
Mm.
I done spend, oh my goodness, or I can't go to work. I got this headache, and so forth.
Or you got to pay that bill after
Got
you
to pay
hit
the
Yeah.
that
bill,
road.
and it's due tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yeah. Reality sets in.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. So it's called a stirb. You know,
Mm.
Stirb.
yes, a stirb.
Short energy, short-term
Short-term
energy.
energy release behavior. So you're releasing that behavior of using these particular substance. You're releasing that, and you're using it thinking is going to assist you, and it's just only just deterring you and bringing that hole a lot wider.
Mm.
And like you say, Mia, reality hits as soon as you say, "Oh my
Mm.
goodness, the
Mm-hmm.
hole was this big, now it's that big,"
Mm.
and you're still stuck with the bill. No pun
Yeah.
intended. You're still stuck
Yeah.
with it.
No way of getting around that one.
No, 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 not a bill. Not a
Now, Dr. Tate,
bill.
there's a stigma about who holds grief better:
Oh,
men, women, or children, pets. What's your thoughts?
You know, someone asked me that question before. I got to take my glass off that one. Okay, we're going to work with this one.
yes.
The definitive answer is I don't know. However, I would like for each of you to put yourself in a situation, because there are situations in the United States and world that in the beginning of a marriage, they don't talk about this particular thing I'm about to share with you. If the husband loses the mother and wants to go into the bathroom in his man cave, what do you do, wife? Do you knock on the door and want to talk,
Mm.
or do you leave him alone? See, that wasn't discussed in the pre-marriage thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
he wants to do, some of them want to stay in their cage and work it out themselves, grieve alone. Whereas the wife wants to talk about it and just, hey, let's get this thing going on with. So the answer to that is I don't know. I really don't know. Now, you mentioned pets. If you notice, and Sophie, you probably have, because you have a pet, that they are very attuned to emotions. They
Mm-hmm.
sense when you are sad. They
Yes.
know. They don't analyze and say, I wonder what's going on with my master. No, they sense that. They will come to you and be there for you emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's what we need to do in order to recover from this thing called grief.
Hmm.
But, very good question. And I hope one day I will find out the answer of who handles it more, because it's a skill. I
I
have
remember,
um,
I remember years ago, I had a dog named Blue, and I wasn't feeling well, and I was laying downstairs on the couch, and he came there and put his little chin, right on the couch
Yes.
there, just looking at me, and like as to say, "What's wrong, mommy?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, we talk, we have conversations and
mhm,
stuff. And then eventually, I went upstairs to go lay down. He followed like right behind me and
Yes.
stuff. And later that evening, as I felt better and got up and started moving around, he left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no,
mhm.
what happened? It's just like he looked back at me like, you're okay now. Now he went to my youngest son. I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's why there's called support animals.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And if I'm not mistaken, the pets, necessarily dogs, they comfort the people who are elderly. They there's something
Yeah.
that happens between that connections,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure it has to do something with emotional. The dog saying, "Let me take care of you emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we're going to get through whatever you're going through. We're not
Mm-hmm.
going to analyze with this no more. We're just going to be here. And when you leave and come back, I'm going to be here waiting for you."
That's right.
Very,
Talking
very
about
powerful.
that,
Yeah.
because it's good because Smokey's like that. Our little dog is
Yes.
Smokey like that. And before you came on, before we started the show, Doc and Mia, Kat was here with us, and she was talking about how she left her birdie for just a few days. And his name is Blue as well, and he was there on her shoulder, and he's just kissing her. He would not leave her side at all. So
Yeah.
he was going through. He knew that she was missing him as well as
Yeah.
he's missing
Mm-hmm.
her. So,
Yes. Yes.
they're just adorable, man. Love them
Yes.
little
Yeah.
guys.
Animals have great sense. I mean, even some dogs and stuff, they can smell like when a person has cancer. There are certain
Mhm.
cats also know when an elderly person, someone is about to die.
Mhm.
So that's amazing sense
Mhm.
to have. They pick up on things like
Very
that.
much so. Yes. Very much so. Very much so.
True.
Mhm.
But let
Good
me ask you
question.
something, Dr. Tate. How do we go about flipping the script on grief?
How do we flip the script on grief?
Mm-hmm.
I read an interesting book by Dr. Ruth Baskerville of Finding Humor in Grief. And when I read that, because it was almost like an oxymoron, all right, you're grieving, I'm sad. What's funny about grief? And what she did in that book is she picked out certain things that was funny within her and her husband's relationship. And I believe that every relationship one has with somebody, they can choose something that was funny,
Mm.
that can go connect with other things that was funny, or connect with other things that's funny. And all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, you're going to start laughing at this individual who had you crying with a puddle of tears, a week ago. And people going to wonder, say, "Hey, didn't your father just pass last week?" Yeah,
Mm.
but the funny stuff that he did overwhelms that. You know,
Wow.
Mhm.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Once you connect with that, that's actually from the script, because I've never raised with finding something funny when somebody passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, many people, they often grieve alone, after a loss and
Mm.
bury their feelings. Can this actually help at such times?
Mia, I tell people time and time again, it's cool to visit the past. It's cool to visit the past. It's not cool to stay there.
Mm.
And when someone is grieving alone, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. Um, Ego stops people from talking to other folks saying that they need help. So they just prefer to just be by themselves. But no, it's not cool to stay there in the mire. It's not.
But what do you do with persons who just want to be by themselves? There's some of us who just want to be alone. Even how do you handle that when you're trying to be there for them? If it's even to be there in silence.
Sophie, what I do, one of the things that I do, and I have this gift, I'm listening to what you're not saying as opposed to what you are saying. That's how I'm going to help me personally. I don't know how the other therapists do, but when people are saying something about this or that, that's pretty obvious. All right. You go into that analytical type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have this emotional connection of what you really saying to me when you're quiet. What you're really saying. I don't have to see your facial expression and try to dictate those type of things right there. There's something else because one, you're here with me. So there's a reason why you came to my class, spend your money, read the book that we're doing. There's a reason for this. And you and I are going to find out that thing. And we're going to get through this together.
I like that. I like that.
Now, with many people grieve and dismiss a child or other adults' loss of a pet as simply juvenile behavior. Is that wise?
Yeah, people grieve differently. One of the things that I really, really cannot stand and I don't subscribe to is, for example, Sophie, you say you lost your friend?
Yeah.
14 years ago?
Yes, sir.
I lost my mom over 20 some odd years ago.
Sorry.
For me to tell you I understand how you feel is absurd. The only thing that you and I have in common is we lost a loved one. I don't know your relationship with your father, and you don't know my relationship with my mom. All right. So to dismiss that as juvenile, yes. Yes.
What about it? What about the people saying, time heals? In time you're gonna feel better with grief.
Yeah, it's one of those myths that I experienced that when I first started my practice, and there was this lady there, and she was sharing with us about her setting the table up for the person that was lost. Every night she sets it up, and I want you to imagine this for a second. You got a family of 4, and the 5th person is not there, so she's setting this table, the plates and everything up every day.
Wow.
So we in the class thinking it was just recently. This thing was 20 years.
Wow.
20 years.
Wow.
So I can read books, study and everything. How do you work with this?
Yes.
You don't go at it. You got to understand. And so what we did very briefly, and I'm involved in the group, is to say, hey, look, let's do something interesting. Let's, for one day out of those 7 days, let's not set the table up for him. It's just one day, and let's see what happens. And then we come back the next week and we talk about it. We don't take the whole session. Just want to see how you feel. She feels. So she stopped. Within those 8 weeks, she stopped and she thanked me. And I say, hold it. It was you. I'm just working this thing out because I personally didn't know how to work with this thing because it was affecting your family. It was affecting relationship. It was just, wow. It was that kind of thing. Surreal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. There's something that I was asked to ask you as well, before you came on the show, and
Yes.
somebody wanted to know. They said they know that grief is supposed to be a natural form, or normal. However, what are some of the signs that it has become unhealthy or even abnormal to even be toxic?
How long have you been knowing Mia? I answered that. My mom told me never answer a question, but let's work it this way so we can understand. How long have you been knowing Mia?
I think I know me around 7 years now, Mia, something like that. Since
Okay.
2013, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
2012, 2013.
So
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know it longer than I have. So you've talked to Mia. You've seen her behavior. is when she shuts down. Okay. When she shut down, or when she don't feel like talking for a long period of time. Now, you know, you normally talk to her, if not every day, every other day, and something like that. But until a pattern is shifted, okay, something's going on. Do I want to ask her what's happening, or I just ride this out and let her talk to me? Because I'm going to put a time limit, and this is me talking through you, Sophie. I'm going to put a time limit. And if I continue seeing this thing, I now realize it's unhealthy. Unhealthy for her and unhealthy for me to be concerned about her because I love her. Okay. That behavior started to be toxic in itself. And it's so simple because you didn't mention it the first time you noticed it, and you're just going to ride out again and see what happens. But once again, something is abnormal. Mia's not acting the way she normally acts, jovial and fun and bubbly like that. Something is going on. Something's going on. There'll become a time, since we know Mia, she's going to eventually say it. But how long is it going to take is my concern. How long?
But how do you break that that barrier without pushing the person away altogether or having them shut down altogether?
If you're the type of person that love to ask questions, ask open-ended questions, not close any questions with a yes or no. I don't necessarily want to say how you feel, because just like you asked a child, well, how was school? Fine. Okay. Now we have to go and dig. What was fine about school?
Yes. True.
So what I would do, Sophie, is I would listen and ask her, hey, not is everything okay? It's just that, hey, look, I enjoy being with you. You're my friend. Re-encourage that bond of saying that I'm here for you without saying I'm here for you. You know, Mia, a lot of people wouldn't do that. A lot of people go into those beginning things of saying, hey, look, I know how you feel. No, you don't. Not with me. But I use Mia. Yes, Mia.
Now, what about like I had this friend like years ago, many years ago, and you know, a group of us used to go out, and every time you know we get together, she's always, I think she was still in the grievance, like maybe a year later. You know, if we went to the club, you know, she's like, oh, if he was here, he would have ordered this drink, or he would have wore that outfit, that suit. No matter where we go, it's always, you know, and it's like you don't want to hurt the feelings, like, you know, it's, you know, I don't want to hear it, you know, to a point where some of us just didn't want to hang out with her because it was just constant. We could be anywhere and she would just find something, you know, we went to dinner. Oh, if he was here, he would have loved to eat this, you know, and even, you know, we suggested to seek help, but it just didn't register. You know, how do you handle someone, you know, that's still grieving a year or 2 years later and still everything they reference the loss of that loved one?
Before I got into this particular practice, I experienced that a couple of times, and it is a drag. Oh God, it's a drag. Here I am. I want to dance. I want to come on, let's go. And you got this person over here. That's their favorite song. Oh God, now we gotta go cry. Give me the handkerchief, you know. I don't want to drink no more. I got it all.
Yes.
Oh, Mia, I felt your pain when you said that, and that is the worst thing.
I couldn't even enjoy my drink.
No, you know, I don't want to dance no more. Now you I don't want to dance no more. But once I came over here, I had to use my intellect, because my emotions want to cry with them automatically. So I have to figure out, Sophie and Mia, what is that I can say that wouldn't trigger something? And if I was a close friend, or even if I was an enemy still in the crowd, I said, yo, man, you need some help. You need some help. I'm saying it as a friend. I love you. You need help because every time we go out, brother or sister, this happens. I know you want to have some fun. You done paid your money at the door. Let's have some fun. You know, if not, let me go with you and call Dr. Tate and see if we can arrange a free consultation.
Right.
You know, and I'll be on the
For
phone. We'll do a three-way.
intervention.
We'll do this thing and see what we can come up with so you don't have to bum me out again no more.
Oh, gosh.
Mhm.
You know, I agree with that. I think sometimes it's important. Sometimes you just gotta be brutally
Sophie, you just got to put it
honest.
out. You
You
got
gotta
to
just keep it real.
You got to. And you know, people
No,
don't care how much you know. People don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. I care about you, brother and sister. Let's get some help. Let's call this number here and see what's happening. That's all. That's all.
1-800 Dr. Tate.
That's it. That's it. Release the grief at gmail.com.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Release the grief at gmail.com.
Oh, yes.
That's another way how to flip the script, Sophie.
All right then. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then let's go dance. No,
And let's
go
dance.
Yeah.
Call Dr.
Yeah.
Tate tomorrow. Tonight we're here.
And I pay your way in.
All right. That's one way for real.
That's it. That's wild. That's wild.
Now, we all know that, friends can be enormous comfort in times of grief. However, what are the signs that someone needs personal help?
I think
Or,
yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. Or an intervention.
Yeah. I think one of the telltale signs is when the rubber meets the road, because a person will one day, I know for a fact, will one day get sick and tired of being sick and tired. I know that for a fact. Because they can fool me. They can fool you. They can't fool themselves. So they're going to come to that point. And when that point comes, that's when they're going to call someone. They need someone. And the person is there waiting for them. We're just here as therapists to listen. I'm not about your money. I'm here to assist you. Period. This issue move into other areas in your life that you haven't tapped on. You do have options, brothers and sisters. You do have options. Let's go out there and see what they're all about. That's all. That's all.
Definitely.
Fair enough.
Dr. Tate, thank you so much for sharing, some insights on, what is grief and, how we can flip the script. Losing my mother almost 5 years now. Reason why I kind of named the show Flip the Script from Grief is that the first year we were grieving her, and it was sad, till we decided during the holidays, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas, that we would share, happy memories of her. And, we'd laugh like, during the holidays, she'd always want her, sip of wine or something. And so I had to make sure that early in the day, take her meds so that, a few hours were gone before she could have her little sip of, wine during dinner, or, just things that she would say. And I think that eased a lot of the grief and the mourning, process, even with my kids, till I think as years went on that, it didn't seem as sad not having her here. Her birthday, we wish her happy birthday, and I may share some photos on Facebook, social media. But I think the time, time does heal, but we have to heal in our own way, in our own time, and, learn to move on and not, hold on to things, or what they call enshrinement itself. But I know that you also have grief recovery classes, sessions. Can you share a little bit about that and any final words?
First, again, I want to thank each of you to invite me here. I've had a very glowing experience being here on your show. Um, Two things I wanted to point out. One, have you ever noticed that when you start doing something, and it goes back to the humor part, you start acting like your mom? Or there's something,
Yep.
or there's something. See, and that's what that enhancement of humor. Laughter is medicine.
Mhm.
Or someone says something that reminds you of your father, and you have to laugh. That's that extended thing of humor, and your grief or your grieving process comes down. It doesn't dissipate. It doesn't go away. So you're not going to move on. You're going to move through this grieving process as time go on. It's cool to celebrate your mom's anniversary. It's cool. Like I said before, stay in the past. It's cool. Or just visit the past, not stay in there.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, that humor thing, because I do it too. I do it. I say something, and oh God, I'm talking about my mom. Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think Dr. Ruth actually had a book, finding humor in grief. And I was
yeah.
just like, I told her, we just did a national authors show. And I was like, I'd never seen that in a sentence or, for a name of
I
a
know.
book until she explained, the loss of her husband. But yeah, that combination of laughter and grief, it helps us, ease that pain.
It's an oxymoron. One of the parts in the book is when they went on this trip up north, and the husband had a particular place to put the clothes. Okay, all the time. So when he transitioned, she went to the same place, and she looked at that top drawer, and she started laughing. So she put her clothes in the top drawer. You can't get the top drawer now.
Now, right? That's exactly what I thought.
And she just bust out laughing because he always wanted to get the top drawer. So that was pretty funny. She had a lot of cute points like that. I recommend the book highly. It will have you laughing, big time. It'll have you laughing.
Good one. There are a few things that I wanna share this with you. It's
Yes.
it's actually a poem, a short. It's by Vicky Harrison, and it says, "Grief is like the ocean. It comes on waves, ebbing and flowing. Sometimes the water is calm, and sometimes it's overwhelming. All we can do is learn to swim."
Mm.
That's beautiful.
Nice one, Sophie. Nice one.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's beautiful. I need a copy of that one because I like to look at that at least every day. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you.
I'll
Thank
hook
you
you
very
up with
much.
that.
I appreciate it, Sophie.
You can Google it. It's by Vicky Harrison.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Dr. Tate, can you share how our watchers or viewers can connect with you, and also a little bit about the grief recovery sessions that you have? I know you have the one-on-one and then the group as
Yes.
well, and then also for pets.
Okay. The first, we have the group sessions. They're 8 weeks. The one-on-one sessions only 1 hour. The group session is 2 hours. And you might think, oh, 2 hours. Oh God, I sit in a class. Mia, you're a total witness. 2 hours go just like that.
Yes.
Just like that. And just imagine one-on-one, 1 hour goes like that. The pet sessions are only 6 weeks. And like I said, we get into the whole nitty-gritty about what's happening and what's about to happen. So you can contact me at releasetogrief@gmail.com. Sophie, I seen you smiling when I said it, but I do have the Gmail, releasetogrief@gmail.com. Or you can call.
I I think that's memorable. That's a memorable Gmail.
Or you can call me at 571-969-7766 to go ahead and get your free consultation. I do it. I love to listen to you. And like I said before, I'm listening to the things that's not being said as opposed to things that are being said. And I dare you to take that first step. Mia is a witness. Once she realized that the first step is being true to yourself, everything else is uphill. Yes.
And also for those, the pet grief is for the pet owners, not for the pets.
Yes. We don't want. Probably not.
Smokey and Blue.
You know, sign up Smokey.
And Blue.
They cannot take your place in sessions.
Okay.
You have to come. You have to show up.
Oh, geez.
Wow. Y'all are a blast. I love y'all. Y'all are a blast.
I had fun. See, we found humor out of grief.
Yes.
Part 2.
Yes.
See, I think the audience was going to think about this morbid type of session.
Yeah.
No. Our ancestors wouldn't have did all this. They would say, laugh until you die. That's how we're going to do. We're going to laugh.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm a stickler for that. You know, after a long day, one of my favorite things to do, and I've said it over and over, and I know it sounds repetitive, I put on, pop my popcorn, pour my glass of wine, and I put on a funny show before I go to bed. You know, because at the end of it, especially if it's a stressful day, you gotta giggle, man. You gotta tickle your fancy, tickle your funny bone, and just chillax.
Sophie, and see what you just did. You released the grief. You released the grief.
Yes. Yes.
And the stress.
All the stress, you released it.
That's right. You know what, Mia, we're gonna have Dr. Donald Tate back, man. You know, it's good vibe, good energy.
Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Now you see how my sessions go. This how they go.
Yeah, just walk out of there feeling better.
Yes.
For real.
Oh, they're definitely fun because even I think one session we had Kat was also there too. We had our night clothes on, and I was eating my little Jamaican breakfast and coffee, and I was like,
hold on, time out. You already tell me about this breakfast thing, so we scheduled the next session. Say all of us going to have breakfast.
I love that. It's like a pajama session.
We homegrown. We don't.
Yeah.
We just release the grief. That's what we did. Release the grief.
Pajama session.
Yes.
Good, my brother.
Have me again. I'm looking forward to seeing what's really going to happen on Glow 365 virtual show.
Again, thank you so much, Dr. Tate. You know, we've come to the ending of our show. You know, I hate to leave, but Sophie, can you please summarize, some takeaways and what we learned today with what Dr. Tate has shared, and what's grief and how do we flip the script?
Well, I guess for flipping the script, we need to remember that there are certain things we should stay away from doing, like the STIRB. The STIRB, which is broken down as short-term energy, release. What's that? Behavior.
Yes.
We gotta scratch that because we know after that comes the headache and the hangover of that, immediate fix. And if we're gonna be there for anyone, which we all want to be for our loved ones, is remember that even those who may seem as if they do not want to speak, they want to be left alone, they want to go in their man cave and cry in their own man cave bathroom, or just don't want to talk about it. Sometimes it's best to just be there in silence, as well as it's best to be there without saying that I'm here for you. And I want to just say that remember, laughter is so important. We talk about it so many times here on the show. Find ways how to learn each other's love language. Find ways how to, we talk about it right here. Tickle your own fancy. We had Happiness Day, Happiness Week. When it comes down, when it's all said and done, today's yours. This moment is ours. And whoever, whatever it is we may be grieving because it's the last time, we know it's not coming back, not in this world, not in this lifetime. Think about what it's done for us, how the good it's done already spent in our lives. And those who are gone, what would they have wanted us to be doing right now? Would they want you to be happy? Would they want you to be grieving indefinitely? Would they want you to be laughing and living the life you have? Maybe if they were here with you, if they could have traded places, just live, laugh, and love. And I want to leave my favorite verse with you, proverb. It's been one of mine from ever since I was a kid. It's actually by Herman Hesse. Herman Hesse. Some say that it's holding on that makes one strong. But guess what? Sometimes it's letting go. Until such time, please, my people, try to bring that glow out inside of you 365. And if you don't remember how to do that, tune in right here, same time, the third Tuesday every month on this link, this chat, where the women of culture and Glow 365 are going to help you do that to remind you how to bring out that greater level of wellness. I love you, my peeps. Stay strong. Smile. Laugh.
Thank you so much, Sophie. And before we go, I just have a couple announcements, some upcoming events. The Jamaican Association of Central Florida is having a Christmas toy drive from November 10th to December 10th, and they're asking for donations of unwrapped toys and gifts for young children, teenagers, men and women, survivors of domestic violence. Drop-off locations is Oli's Kitchen and Smokehouse at 2700 Rio Grande Avenue, Orlando, Florida. It's Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or you can call 407-841-8933. And also First Choice Wealth and Retirement at 1971 Lee Road, Unit 205, Winter Park, Florida. 32787 from Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Silver Star Christian Church at 7510 Silver Star Road, Orlando, Florida, 32818. Again, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can call 407-293-2768. And also our next show that is coming up below, we're having a holiday special, just conversations on our last 11 episodes. And the guests that we've had, what we've learned. And special guests will be Adriana Clark. We'll be probably singing a couple songs. And Catherine Murray Love. We're sharing fondest memories over the years and our cultural holiday tradition, and so much more. And that's going to be on Tuesday, December 16th at 7 p.m. And KO Magazine, we have a special holiday edition featuring recipes from chefs around the world. On the cover is Master Raw Food Chef Guru and Health and Wellness Influencer, Dr. Eris Latham. And just in time, for the holidays, for these recipes. And please visit us on Facebook at these official KO Magazine, Glow 365 Virtual Show, official Men of Culture, official Woman of Culture, and Ribbons of Survivors 365. And on Instagram, we're on there as well. And visit us online at kuomagazine.com. And also visit us on Instagram, like us and subscribe at official KO Magazine and official Women of Culture. I would like to thank our special guest, Dr. Donald Tate of Donald Tate and Associates. Visit him online at drtateandco.com. and Associates.com. And many thanks to my co-host, Sophie G., and to our technical director, writing team, Mr. Kujaatele, Kweli, and Catherine Murray Love, and Mr. Leonard Bird. And thanks to our show and amazing viewers. Thank you all for tuning in. I am Coach Mia, coming to you from Ocoee, Florida. Until next time, remember, an unappreciated part of healthy grieving is taking care of ourselves, especially the mind, body, and spiritual wellness. So let's flip the script on grief and continue to stay safe and be well.